Yo, what's going on, Rockets Nation? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today we're going to be talking about how Alperen Sengun is a star in the making for the Houston Rockets. Alperen Sengun is playing lights-out basketball right now for the Houston Rockets. He's currently averaging 18 points per game, near 9 rebounds per game, 8.6, 7 assists per game, and shooting 57% from the floor. He is playing with confidence, and I know some people love to compare him to this player. Some people don't like it. I feel like a lot of people that don't like it are Nuggets fans are just people who have not watched Alperen Sengun play basketball. That's just my opinion. This is Baby Jokic, and the fact that this guy is putting up these stats and is doing it nightly, where it's all around. He's a big man averaging a near triple double. I mean, I know 7 assists isn't really near triple-double, but he's almost every night has been close to a near triple-double for him. I mean, we'll go over his last game against the Kings. He only played 26 minutes at 17, 12, and 8. Only reason he played 26 minutes was because it was a blowout win for the Rockets over the Kings, 122-97. The night before, or on Saturday, Rockets played Monday and Saturday against the Kings. He only played 34 minutes, had 15, 9, and 6. And then against the Hornets on Wednesday, he had 19, 7, and 4. That wasn't really near triple-double. But against the Warriors on last Sunday, on the 29th of October, he had 19, 7, and 5. Then against the Spurs, this is the best game of the season so far. He played 41 minutes and had 25, 7 assists, and 14 rebounds. So it's a season high for him in rebounds, and that's also a season high for him in points, and that was against the Spurs in overtime. So he's playing elite basketball right now. And also I want to keep everybody in mind, just the end of July, so just a couple months ago, it's the beginning of November, almost 3 months ago or 4 months ago, this guy just turned 21 years old. And he put up near stats like this, doing stuff like this every night for the Rockets last year. And he did stuff like this last year for the Rockets, and he was 20 years old. It's just the fact, to me, it's very impressive to me that he does this stuff and he's 21 years old. I mean, you didn't see Nikola Jokic is talented at 21 years old. Obviously, Nikola Jokic has developed into the player he is. To be honest, I don't even know if Nikola Jokic was in the NBA at 21 years old. Sengun was drafted at 18 or 19 years old. And then another thing I want to note is that Sengun has also improved on his weaknesses from the seasons before. Sengun in his rookie and sophomore seasons of the NBA was a terrible three-point shooter. And I know people will make the excuses for him that he was not shooting the ball, but even when he did shoot the ball, he was not a good three-point shooter. He is shooting way better from 33.3%. Some people might say that's really good. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. Some people might say that's terrible. But for a big man who is really not good at not really good three-point shooter, he's turned into a decent three-point shooter. And as game by game go by for the Houston Rockets, it's looking like he's becoming a little bit of a better three-point shooter. And another thing that was a really big weakness for him was defensively. And he is averaging a steal per game and is playing way better on defense. He's getting, there's been a couple games where hasn't had a block. I mean, he had 0, he's a good shot blocker. He just hasn't really been getting lucky with shot blocking this season. Last 4 games, he's had 0 blocks, had 1 block in the Spurs game, and I think he also had 1 block in the Magic game, the first game of the season. So he only has 2 blocks this season. But in the past, he's been a very decent shot blocker for the Houston Rockets. And then he was in the preseason as well. And then another thing is that he really struggled in his past 2 seasons with the Rockets was fouling. Really struggled in getting in foul trouble. And this season, he's only averaging 3.2 personal fouls per game. He's only gotten in foul trouble 1 time. I mean, against the Kings, had 3 personal fouls. I know that was in 26 minutes. Against the Kings, played 34 minutes. Only had 2. Played 27 against the Hornets. Only had one. Against the Warriors, played 33 minutes. Only had 3. And then he did foul out against the Spurs, but that was in overtime and had 6 personal fouls in that game, but played 41 minutes. So he has been way better, with foul trouble situations, which was a very thing. It was a thing that he really struggled in the seasons past with him. And I will say he plays a lot like Nikola Jokic with his confidence and his touch and everything he does on the court. I mean, he's aggressive in the paint. He's really gotten better at scoring in the paint and being more aggressive in the paint. And I'm gonna make this prediction right now. He keeps to play this way right now, and the Rockets keep playing the way they're playing as a team. Alperen, and I'm gonna do a Charles Barkley. This is a guarantee. Alperen Sengun will be a part of the 2024 AllStar Game if the Rockets keep playing like this as a team, and he keeps playing like this. And honestly, I think the Rockets could be, and I'm not saying that this will happen, but I think the Rockets, by the time all-star selections are happening for the, because we'll be honest, as much as Sengun can start averaging 20-something points per game, Sengun can start averaging a triple-double. He's not going to be a starter in the Western Conference. So he's going to be a reserve in the All-Star Game if he makes the All-Star Game. So by the time the reserves get announced in the All-Star Game, the Rockets could be the 13th seed. And if he keeps playing like this, and if not that, even better, he will be an all-star. But I'm not saying the Rockets will be the 13th seed because honestly, I'm feeling a really good vibe from my Rockets right now. I think they're going to, by the all-star break, I think they could be maybe in the area of the potential, let's say, 12 to 8 seed. And the only reason I go as high to 12 is just because I think the Western Conference is very hard, and one night you can go, in the West, you can go from the 10 seed, and the next night you can go from the 6. So the West, it's going to be throughout the rest of the, I know I'm talking about just because it's early on in the season. It's going to be like that later in the season where one loss, it's going to really hurt you. One win, it's going to really help you. And I think that this year with the Western Conference, it's going to be really hard. But so far, the Rockets are doing pretty solid. I mean, they're 3-3. I'm confident about these next 2 games against the Lakers and the Pelicans. The Lakers might be without Anthony Davis. The Pelicans are going to be without CJ McCollum. And then after that, you play the Nuggets, who are going to be without Jamal Murray. I'm not saying the Rockets are going to win all 3 of those games, but I think the Rockets could win maybe 1 or 2 of those games. And, keep in mind, all 3 of those games I just mentioned, the Lakers, the Pelicans, and the Nuggets, those are all at home. So I'm feeling confident for my Houston Rockets right now, and they've been playing great basketball and great team basketball offensively and defensively in the last 3 games, and I'm really excited. I mean, you can even say the last 4 games or last 5 games. Their only really bad game they've played was the first game against the Magic. I mean, they played a good game against the Spurs, went to overtime. The Rockets played a good basketball game. They competed with the Warriors. It was a close game for a majority of the ball game. They beat the Hornets. They beat the crap out of the Kings twice. The Rockets are playing great basketball right now. These were your thoughts on the Rockets and Alperen Sengun, and peace out. Go Rockets.